All right, all right. So, candidates, are you ready to begin? All right, Indigo Diablon, you got the opening statement.
Okay. Hi, my name is Indigo Diablon, and I'm qualified to be your president. I was a Girl Scout counselor for 3 years. I worked in child care for 3 years every day after school because it gratifies me to empower young people. I see the disconnection in the United States. Everywhere I go, I see it when everyone's looking down at their phones or not paying attention to each other, or not really analyzing their actions and knowing their impact on the world, the earth, each other. And I see this in the news too, like people shooting up the schools and making bad decisions, and it horrifies me really. So I want us to be in unity. I want there to be harmony, and I do believe that we can achieve it. How much time do I have?
You're good.
Great.
Right. Is that your whole statement?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Indigo.
All right, let me get to the front for this. I'm kind of fair. Vote for Benson because I care. Vote for your girl, okay? I just want to talk about what I feel strongly about. Discrimination. I've lived through it. I have a story to tell, and I see a lot of it in Colleyville, Grapevine area. I have a story myself. And then I've been an ambassador for 3 years in AVID. My AVID teachers know. So I have leadership roles. I've been in independent film. I've been in theater. I've done, movies. I've done stage acting. So I know how it feels to actually be up here and actually talk in front of everybody. And I just want to say that on the news a lot for just being African American, you see daily life, like lives are just being ruined for no reason. We're always getting pulled over by the police, and so it's really hard for us to step outside and actually, drive because we don't know when this next time we're going to be pulled over. And I don't want anybody here to feel that. I obviously don't judge people of color because I am of color, and I know how that feels because of personal experience being in school and just being outside of school. And so I just want to make sure this is like a known and safe environment. And then again, for gun control, and I don't like, of course school shootings are scary. I've never been through that. I don't want that to ever happen. But I believe that we all come together and we become unified. We can make our school a safer place to be, and that's what I want.
So if you have a question, just raise your hand. I'll be the moderator. I'll call on you and just introduce yourself, and then you can ask the candidates the question. I told the candidates that they have up to 60 seconds to respond to each question. So if you ask a question, both candidates are going to have an opportunity to respond, and we'll alternate the order of who's responding to the questions. So who wants to go first? I need somebody who's brave. All right. Mr. Houston, I saw a hand first.
I'm going to address this with Alexis. The campaign literature that I've received from you indicates that you may have a different view of gun control than other people do. In other words, you're not necessarily in favor of some of those things. That you see a limitation on the Second Amendment is something that would very, very much harm the Constitution and the constitutional right to carry weapons. A lot of other amendments have limitations placed on them. Free speech, practicing of religions, privacy, those kinds of things. Why is it that you feel that limitation on the Second Amendment is not necessary, that it shouldn't follow some of the same tenets of some of the other amendments? Why do you feel that it should be when other amendments have limitations placed on them, why do you feel that the Second Amendment should not?
Okay, so basically your question is asking me about the Second Amendment, and we're talking about gun control in general? Are we?
Sure.
Okay. I don't feel like guns are the problem. I feel that we are. I feel that if we should be able to hold our weapons, like we should be able, not necessarily hold it in school, of course not, but I feel that gun control and safety that comes in place, I feel that we should have regulations for people who have guns because, you guys see on the news, we've had so many this year of having gun shootings, just having it in your backpack and stuff like that, but I feel that you could have it at your house. It's your house. If you feel like somebody's going to come in and intrude your house, you should be able to, defend yourself and be able to, protect yourself and your family and your loved ones. I don't necessarily feel that I'm not going against the Second Amendment, but that's how I feel.
Indigo?
Like Alexis said, the guns aren't the problem. The mental health of our citizens is. I brought up an idea in one of my videos about gun control, about offering mindfulness programs in schools to help children cope with the chaos of the world. I also think it would be a great idea to put metal detectors in schools and put escape routes in classrooms. And I think that everyone should have to have a license before buying a gun. You should definitely know how to use it if you do buy a gun because of all the accidental misfires in homes.
Thank you. And got a question back there?
My question is about the environment. Do you believe in global warming? And if not, why? And if you do believe in it, what can we do as a nation to help our environment?
So we'll start with Indigo this time, global warming.
I do believe that the immense amount of carbon emissions put out into the atmosphere are very harmful to the environment, the air we breathe. And I think that the biggest problem are big industries, and they need to be a lot more transparent with what they're doing and give updated reports on their effects on the environment and human rights.
I agree with what Indigo said. I feel that I definitely believe in global warming. Like today it's raining hard as heck outside, and I feel that because we created the earth, we were put on this planet so that we could take care of it, and I feel that as society and as humans we aren't really doing that. Again, what she said with carbon and all that stuff in the atmosphere, we breathe that every single day, so we don't take and see what's going on in our industries and how they're affecting what's going on and it's going up in the air, then that's going to affect us as well with us being sick and other things like that.
Okay. And we'll move on to the next question. I want to remind you, you are allowed to cheer, you are allowed to comment if you want to. Vote Alexis! All right, up in the front row.
Okay, so what are you willing to do as an individual to make changes to affect climate change? Are you willing to make small sacrifices yourself, or are you looking for the bigger companies to make the bigger difference?
That's a good question. I think we need to look at the people who, just like oil and stuff like that, the industries who put stuff up in the air, they need to, I guess, take regulations and look at what they're doing to our earth and what's going up in the air. They obviously need to see what they're doing to, obviously impact us and what we're bringing in every single day, because we're breathing in chemicals, obviously. And I feel that even smoking and stuff like that, I feel that also kind of pollutes the air as well, because that's damaging to some of us. We can't infuse that and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel that industries, big ones mainly, they should definitely see what they're doing and what they're putting up into the air and take regulation of that and see how that's impacting us as humans.
As consumers, we have a choice in what we buy, and we also have the choice to research and look into what we're supporting, because how you spend your money is the biggest way you can make your political voice heard. And it's also in our hands to be protesting and just not doing what's easy, but doing what's right. It's not going to be easy to get to a point that's sustainable on our earth, but we need to do it. And so we need to be putting in that extra effort, even if it is a little bit more money, a little bit more time out of our hands.
So Alexis, you brought up a good point about discrimination, and I feel like the culture in our country is tumultuous, to say the least. What actions would y'all take to kind of shift our culture in our country to be a better society?
Do you want to answer this first?
You can start.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to preach on this. Because let's just start at our school. Last year for Black History Month, I felt that we didn't do anything for that. I heard that the person who did that at our school left. And so then last year, nobody took a chance to do something about that. And then another thing, in our history classes, what's the first thing you hear about African Americans? They were slaves. That's it. We don't get to know our own background. We get to learn about y'all's, but we don't get to know about ours. And so we take the chance to learn about the different diversities and different cultures in our history class. That's the beginning. That's the first step to take. Because if we don't know about our own background, how are we going to be able to celebrate Black History Month? How are we going to be able to understand why Indians put the red dot on their, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand that. And then even going on that, they don't understand, some people don't understand why the N-word is such offensive, because we don't take the time to go out and explain why we don't like that word, why we don't allow other races to say that word. And then again, it's like, it starts in class, it starts at school, because if you don't learn that from home, if you don't learn that in your own environment, how are you going to go on and educate other people about that? And I feel that we should start at school by just learning about it in history class, because I've been here in this district my whole life. I've never moved. And in history class, every time that we bring up African Americans, is that we're slaves. You know, the amendment, how, you know, slaves were free and all that stuff, but we don't really get to talk about MLK down to like that. We don't get to talk about Morgan Freeman or Oprah Winfrey, because they have all impacted and they have all made history for us. So I feel that we need to take the time out in class and have teachers get educated about it as well, so that we can make culture a big thing at our school. And I know for sure at Grapevine, they do a whole week for Multicultural Week. We don't even do that here. So I feel that maybe we should take the time and create that at our school as well.
All right, thank you.
I think it's important to show acceptance in your everyday life by being an ally and being someone to talk to and standing up and speaking about it when you see something or read something that's not right. And I would like to see more people of color in the White House and on the news and good positions, because they're just as qualified as anybody else is.
All right, who would like to go next? Miranda.
You said that you experienced discrimination in our schools. Are you worried that in this election, being that you are a person of color, you'll have disadvantage in this election?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but again, from personal experiences and just life in general, we don't, I guess we could say, we're discriminated every day. I feel that because I'm running against a white person, this is like Barack Obama all over again, I guess. I feel that, of course, some people are going to be like, no, I don't want to vote for her because she's this color. I mean, I hope people want to say that, but then again, at the end of the day, I can't speak for other people, so that might be the case. I hope not, but I feel that that may be another reason.
Do you have any response to that?
I don't have a response to that, and I'm sorry that you feel that way.
All right, next question. See in the back hand person. We'll go up here just one second. Parker.
What's your overall stance on illegal immigration?
So we'll start with Indigo this time. So the question was illegal immigration?
Okay, it's never fair to make whole generalizations about a whole population of people. Mass deportations don't work for us, and we need them here in our country. We're all immigrants. Like, I'm sure a very low percentage of us in this room are Native American. And that's what makes this country great, is people from all over the world contributing something else. And I do think that they should have thorough background checks just to make sure that they're not a threat to our country, and that there's plenty of people that can have the job to like look into that and take the time to do that. Not do what's easy and just send them all away, but really take the time to look at every person's situation and circumstance.
I agree with what Indigo said. I feel that they should have the chance to have the American dream. If they're coming down here to provide a better life for their families, let's say, you know, the dad was illegal and so was the mom, but they came down here so that their child could have a better life and become legal, then they should have the right to come down here, especially if they haven't done anything in their country to harm anything. Their background is just clean. They should be able to come down here to have a better life. I don't like the fact that we're trying to separate people from their family, especially if that child has done nothing wrong, neither have the parents, because they're undocumented or they're illegal, does not necessarily mean that they're going to harm our country. They might actually benefit and help us. So I feel like she said, we need to look at their background and see, you know, they're a good citizen and let them come over. I mean, if they're trying to get the American dream, then we should let them come over here and have the American dream, because if you were in that position, you would want to come over here as well.
Thank you. Ready?
Okay, so I think y'all are both pro-choice. Is that correct? Okay.
are there going to be any standards or regulations on women who have multiple abortions? When it becomes used as a form of birth control rather than put in a situation where it needs, it's their choice, yes, but people that abuse it. Do you think that that is a problem, or do you think that there should be regulations on how many times women?
Were you done? I'm sorry. Were you?
Should there be regulations on how many abortions a woman should have, basically?
Okay. I feel that I am pro-choice because, again, I am a woman. So if I was put in a situation to where, let's say, for example, I got raped or something like that, I didn't want to be with that person, didn't want anything to happen, I didn't say yes, I didn't consent to any of that, then it's my body. I'm going to be going through the physical and emotional changes that you have to go through during pregnancy. I feel that I wouldn't want to, but then again, I don't know if I would do that in a situation. I've never been like that, but I could see another person, if that was another woman going through that situation, I could see her saying, yes, I want to have an abortion because she didn't consent to it. She didn't want that. And then going on the birth control and stuff like that, I feel that women should be able to go on birth control if they plan on, having sex and doing stuff like that, and they don't plan on getting pregnant, then they should be able to get on birth control. They should be able to get the implant in their arm, all that stuff.
Hey, Alexis, let me jump in 1 second. I think the question is more about like abortion as a form of birth control.
Oh, okay.
Not in the case of a woman being raped.
Okay.
She just continues to get pregnant and chooses to have abortions rather than
Okay.
Multiple.
Okay, that's something different. Okay, my bad for that. Yeah, I think there should be a regulation on that because if you continuously do it, and then you just automatically want to just end, just not, like 5 times or whatever, that's something else. They obviously need to get on birth control or something like that because you have to think about the child, and then it's just, if you're doing it 5 times and you constantly keep wanting to do it and then you just keep continuously have an abortion, I don't feel like that's okay.
This is quite an emotional topic for me. When women don't have access to abortion, they resort to traumatic and painful and unsanitary practices. I've heard stories from older relatives, and it's horrifying. It's scary. And when something is a part of your body, that should be your choice what to do with it, and it shouldn't be governed by the government and regulations. I do think that abortion should take place during the first trimester, but the circumstances and decision-making should be up to the couple themselves.
Dr. Whitfield?
So we have a foster care crisis, right, in the nation, but in Texas as well. So you are pro-choice. If we're going to have babies that are born and maybe they don't have places to go, how do we go about addressing the foster care system, the influx that would come from that?
You go first. If you want to ask any follow-up questions.
Yeah, could you tell me a little bit about the current state of foster care?
Yeah, there are current, as many churches as there are in the state of Texas. If every church would adopt a kid, we wouldn't have a crisis, period. So there's tens of thousands of kids in the foster care system that don't have families to go to. So the concern is, if we're going to go pro-choice, and we're going to allow these babies to be born, and I'm pro-choice, right? What are we going to do about it once the kids are here and they don't have a family to take care of them? What's the support systems that we're going to have in place?
I definitely encourage adoption. We're having, big families are really, really glorified in America, and there's already a huge population with problem with us being way too overpopulated and kids ending up on the streets and dropping out of high school and not getting the attention and care that they need and deserve. So I would encourage Americans to adopt or limit how many children they have, but I would never put a regulation on that like China.
I would agree that Indigo. I was going to say that I feel like there should be adoption in place because I've actually had a friend who's been in a situation where the parents didn't want to have her, and yet again, they just, they kind of just gave her away and they put her in adoption. You think about the kid's life intact and think about how it's going to affect them. I also think about the couple as well. If they don't believe in abortion and they want to have the kid, they don't want to, but they think that adoption would be the second choice to do instead of having an abortion, I feel that that's why we have adoption agencies, and that's why we have so many foster care programs and stuff like that, so that maybe a couple can adopt them and take care of them and give them the financial stuff that they need that the couple couldn't provide for them. So it's basically kind of giving them a better life than they would have had if they were with the parents who couldn't provide everything that they need for them.
My question is about the economy. I read both of y'all's websites and your stance on that, and you mentioned needing an equal distribution of wealth and perhaps reconsidering how much the rich versus the middle class contribute. So I was wondering what your position is on any kind of tax reform.
Okay. I feel that because there is different classes in society, I don't feel that we should, as middle class people, we should have to, I guess, pay more taxes than higher class people do. And that's because I feel that if you make more money than I do, I feel that necessarily they should have to, I'm not saying they should pay a whole bunch of money, but I'm just saying if they make more money than I do, I feel that they should have more taxes than I do, because I'm barely pushing it. Like if I'm a teacher and I'm making, a certain amount of money, and I can afford, to pay taxes, but I can't do as much as you can, if you're in higher class. I feel that taxes in place should be to where it's lenient, and you're okay with letting middle class and then the lower class not pay as much as the higher class, because again, they're higher class, so they should be able to pay more in taxes.
In a discussion with Whitfield, we were talking about how large, rich industry shouldn't be paying the same amount as a 4-person family, so definitely raise the taxes for the super, super rich. Also, I don't feel comfortable living in a country where all the benefits, or most of the benefits, go to the 1%, and just make the rich richer. And I can also say that I bring good perspective to the White House because I've experienced poverty firsthand. I've lived with a single mother, and I know how hard it is to just live and survive when you don't really have that much access to healthcare or food stamps or other things like that.
We have time for one more and then closing arguments. See Bruce.
Since drug trafficking is such a reoccurring problem in the U.S., what's your stance on legalizing marijuana and maybe even other drugs?
Start with Indigo. Legalizing marijuana and potentially other drugs.
Okay. I think that there's already a huge problem with drugs in the pharmaceutical industry, and so if things related to like opiates in the pharmaceutical industry, those things are available, then at least medical marijuana should be legalized because it has been proven to help with Parkinson's, ADHD, anxiety, brain tumors, and it even shrinks cancer cells in rats' brains. And I think it would help out a lot of people for getting that off of their records too. And I don't think that it should be a Schedule I drug next to heroin when marijuana has caused 0 deaths ever.
Alexis?
Okay, Indigo definitely took what I was going to say I was definitely for legalizing marijuana. I was going to say that it helps with cancer because I've actually had my aunt in my family who actually does have cancer, and honey, she stays with that marijuana. So, and it helps her, and I've just for experience, seeing that she went from being so sick, and then it's just it's a medical, so it's helping her to have that energy that she wouldn't have before not having it. And so I went to her doctor appointments with her, so seeing that marijuana actually is helping her, and not just not just sitting around the bed just waiting for just sitting there not being able to move or anything. It's actually helping her. She's actually moving around the house. She's actually getting better. So in my opinion, I feel like it's actually kind of curing her situation because I've is my like story. I've been dealt with that. So I feel that I would definitely legalize it because my aunt does have cancer, and she does, I mean, seriously, on the daily, she's marijuana, honey, marijuana. So because of that, I would definitely want to legalize it. If it is going to help other patients as well who have sicknesses and who have cancer, then of course we should legalize it because, I mean, just think about it. If you're in that position and you have cancer and you're just sitting there, you know, you're sick, you want something that's going to help cure you, right? You're going to do anything willing, you know, your family's going to do anything to help you get what you need to survive and be good. So then I would definitely want to legalize it because of that.
One more thing, it would also help.
I'll let you roll that into your closing argument if you want to. So we're at the point now for closing statements. You have up to 1 minute each. And so, Indigo, you go first, and then Alexis, you're the last one to go. Indigo?
Okay. Hold on, can you give me like a few seconds?
Sure.
Okay.
While she takes her a few seconds, I just want to say thank you again to everybody who came. I think it's really helpful always for adults to see what kids are thinking, what students are thinking, like where they're at in their thought process on all these important issues. And I think it's also important for students to see what kind of topics adults are pretty passionate about and what kind of questions they want to ask. So I think it's good, healthy dialogue between both parties. Indigo, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, you got 60 seconds.
Okay, so just a few months ago, I moved here from Portland, Oregon, and when I got to Texas, I was really scared. I saw the big old sky, and like I felt like it was weighing down on me. But now I see it as possibility, and all the possibility that we have as Americans can go in all sorts of different directions. But I want to go in the direction of sustainability and peace and connectedness, and yeah, vote for Indigo.
Again, I'm with this podium because I'm sick of standing here.
I just wanted to say, vote for your girl again, okay? I love Indigo. Like, again, I really appreciated being able to debate against her. We were friends before this, so we're going to be friends after this, okay? So if you guys, you know. But then again, vote for your girl because Vincent cares. And again, I really appreciate y'all coming out. And again, like what I said before, I really feel like discrimination and stuff is really big in our, you know, like it's just big. It's on TV, okay? Every single day we see stuff on TV about people just getting gunned down, getting sexually assaulted, and just ridiculous stuff going on in our society today. And I really feel like if we really can get together and unify our country and just get together, like you guys matter, I matter, we all, I feel like we could just really make this a better school and make this a better society as a whole. So yeah, thank y'all for coming.
All right, thank you.